What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. So in this video, we are back here at Full Sail University. We're in the film studio cages and we're gonna show you some of the most used equipment and things you should get familiarized with right now. Let's go. So the first thing that I'm gonna show you guys is a dimmer. Here's what a dimmer looks like. There's many different types of dimmers, of course. Imagine an extension cord where you can plug in to the other end. What you would do with this is dim how much power you want going to that light. If you have like LED bulb, it will lessen the amount of light being produced by the light bulb. You usually would use a dimmer for practical lights on set. So that's like lamps and stuff like that. All right, next thing we're gonna go over is a safety chain. So you have the wired metal, a closed loop carabiner. And what people often do with these is you wrap these around the grid. So the bars in the ceiling where we would mount lights and that sort of equipment, it secures it in itself. So if the equipment was to break, it would hang on that and you wouldn't have a 50-pound light hitting you in the head. That's how people get hurt. This prevents injuries. All right, next we have a Cardellini clamp. You have the device that grips whatever you're putting on there, the screw mount which secures it tight from this basically not being able to open back up. And then this portion is what would go on a C-stand, and the C-stand is what we use to hang up things like flags, silks, that type of device. I'll also show you guys the C-stand because that would be one of the biggest things that you will learn at your initial months here at Full Sail. Next we have a vice grip. This is what the vice grip looks like. You basically have the vice, the pliers looking thing. This would be attached to whatever, boom. And now you have two places to attach it from, or additionally, you could put this on the C-stand. This could be used to attach something to it and hold something, or to go off of this one. Different ways to use it. There's also two different types in here. They have one which is like the chain style, and this chain would be wrapped around the object that you want to hold onto and clamp, and they could be adjusted, tightened, whatever. So next we have a 3-piece wall spreader. This goes on your walls on the edge and you can secure it. You could put screws through the holes to make it, you know, even safer. And you basically put the light on top of it and aim it down into your set. So pretty cool tool. The next one we're gonna go over is a grip head. Grip head is basically the top portion of what a C-stand would look like. And this is the mounting point to whatever you're attaching it to. So we're gonna go ahead and start with this silk right here. This is also known as a flag. These will go on the C-stand. Next, we have a single net, also a flag. And we have a solid flag. These are usually used to block out light. Here we have another style of flag. This is more of a cookie to create patterns with the light. There's also a cookie in this style where it's more of a metal mesh. We also have the types that go into the lights. Here we have a single half scrim. We have a double half scrim. Then we have a full single scrim. And this one is, dropped it. And this is a double full scrim. All right, next thing I'm gonna show you guys is just a C-stand. Like I said earlier, this is called a grip head, and this is the C-stand that we talked about earlier. We used it for the beginning half of this video to get some more light on my face with my light tube. I explained this before in a different video. It's a Godox light. This is the grip head for the long arm attached to the grip head that holds the long arm. And then this is the C-stand portion, which you have a double riser down to the staggered leg pattern. A couple different types of C-stands. You guys will learn that. Most importantly, the moment you even want to lift it a little bit or put weight on it, sandbag it. These sandbags basically have weight that prevents anything from tipping over as easily. Not promised, but usually does the trick. You could put more than one if you need to, depending on how much weight. For most of this interview, we actually used it to put this giant half diffusion, have it on a C-stand as well. You put the weight towards the side you tightened. This handle right here, it turns clockwise to tighten. So I want to put everything on this side of the 12 o'clock. If I go towards 11, I now have to rotate this arm. The weight will cause it to come loose, making it fall. That's how people get hit in the head with stuff. Here we have the spring clamps. You run wires through the top of them. You guys can also use these to attach silks, fabrics, whatever you need. Here we have pipe clamps. This is one of my favorite tools because you basically can attach whatever you want to the grid. This goes on the pipe, you tie in this and you attach it the same way with the pin. Very good way to attach lights or basically anything, pretty good. Here we have a Maffer clamp. Used these a couple times, kind of work in a very similar way to where you can attach these to whatever you need. You tighten it and have that pin as well. Here we have a duckbill. Basically works the same way as the vice grip. You have the vice grip right here. You got the pin, but what you can do with this is basically hold bounce boards, anything like that, you know, however you choose to use it. Here we have some power related stuff. This is an extension cord, but in the filmmaking business, we call these stingers. That way we can differentiate the difference from these and normal extension cords. These usually have different prong style and they can handle more power. This is industrial work for heavy lights that are used in the film industry. Let me show you what the extension cord looks like. These are an example of some extension cords. You know, the basic, you guys have seen those. This is all wires that run from the house power over to your connection boxes. These are some examples of the boxes where you'll kind of link together to create this awesome energy field thing. Here you have a 600 amp box with a bunch of connections where you basically attach your 100 amps. You have switches to turn it on and off, and you run your 5-wire through here. Black, blue, red, white, green. Always start from green to black and backwards whenever you're taking it off. That's kind of what they look like. This is a different style of box where you also have your connections all around it. The one you guys will most likely be using at first is a lunchbox. They'll probably already have it set up for you guys so it's safer while you're learning. The lunchbox has 10 different outlets for you guys to connect to, and each row is connected by a switch above it. Boom, boom. For example, the light on top usually turns red to indicate that it's on. Always mark your lights as well, usually on top, with what is connected to that port when possible. My suggestion to you guys with the lunchbox when you guys start learning it, usually you want to connect any 2K lights and up at the bottom, and then the 1Ks could be on top or the bottom, but you usually don't want to overload it. Probably the easiest way to prevent somebody from causing a fire. Definitely ask your professor how to distribute power correctly. Here's an example of a bumblebee. Another thing that's also kind of basic. Middle part opens up. You run wires through here. The idea is that if you have wires going across, you place it down, nobody's gonna trip over the wires because they now have this point to visualize it and to hopefully not trip on it as easily. Over here, we have something that you will most likely use. These are Apple boxes. This is your most common size right here. Guys, I almost forgot the most important thing. These are known as C47s. They are not clothespin. They're made out of wood with these little metal springs. We use these to clamp things on. You guys will use these a lot in film school. C47, don't forget the name. With this, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and close out the video. Make sure to give it a big like and subscribe to join the crew. God bless you.